it is time. I know I didn't fire up the motor with the fender well headers that I told you guys I was going to do, but we got a bit of a change of plan. So if you look over here, we have the 440 big block on the engine hoist or the crane, and I got the new car style mid-sump oil pan on. I got the new motor mounts with the new kind of car style motor mounts on as well instead of the truck mounts. New transmission mount. We got the new 720 with a long tailstock. So we got everything hanging up right here. And the reason I didn't fire up the car with the headers was because when I pulled off the manifolds, the studs came out and I had to drain all the coolant. Once I drained all the coolant, I drained the oil to change the oil pan. Then I don't feel like topping up all that stuff in order to just give you guys a sound bite. So what I figured I'd do while the engine is dry of all its fluids, we're gonna lift this up and drop it inside of the 1970 Plymouth Duster. And my girlfriend's gonna kind of give me a hand if we need to get the transmission down behind the tunnel there. We're pretty wide open, not having inner fender wells, which is great. So that's gonna help us out huge. So I think we're ready to drop the motor in. It's gonna be a little awkward, a little sketchy, but let's just go for it. Let's just drop the motor in. And once the motor's in, then I can fab up my motor mounts because we're not using the engine plates. And I can fab up a tranny mount because I don't have a tranny mount that came with the car. And I don't feel like buying one. So I'm just gonna make engine mounts, tranny mount. But let's go ahead, throw the 440 big block into the Plymouth Duster. Okay, motor's on. Just like this. Okay. I think what I'll do is I'll keep it low while I bring it over here, and then I'll go up with it. Moving the 440 big block. Super sketchy, oh yeah. This jack has been outside for a while when I bought it. Ooh, watch the Duster. It's gonna be a weird turn to make. All right, let's go up with it. I think it sounds sketchy the way. I hope we can go high enough. Okay, cotter pins are all in. Bolts are nice and tight. Good to be safe and double check, right? Sorry. That's a lot of weight up in the air, I'll tell you that. I think these cooler lines are gonna cause me a big reef, but we'll figure that out when we get to that point. All right, so I'm just gonna try to scoot around a bit and I'm just gonna see what happens here. Okay, I think we're high enough, which is great. Can we make the turn? Point and shoot, baby! Just got enough room here. Look at this, look how close it says here to the tailstock. So I'm swinging, we got a gravel driveway, so it's a little bit awkward. I can't go outside of the garage door. I'm literally touching here, so we got lucky there. The car's all the way up against the back wall. Okay, let me go in a little bit now. Okay, now I'm gonna, see, this is where we might have to put the camera down and get you to give me a bit of a hand, baby. So let me see the camera. My beautiful girlfriend, looking sexy in that Arctic Cat jacket. Yeah, stunning. All right, I'm gonna crawl through here, which you shouldn't do, but let me just do this quickly. All right, that was sketchy. Yep, sketchy. Oh, good. Maybe move your leg just in case the motor does drop. Okay. All right, so we got the 440 in. I'm rushing because we got fluid dripping all out of the trans right now, even though I got it all wrapped up and taped up. So I got my drive shaft sticking out, so I got to try to get the slip yoke into the transmission, and then we can drop it down to where it wants to be and put some jack stands underneath the motor. So let's go underneath the car and we'll see if I can make this happen. All right, so see, I got to get this inside of our yoke inside here, so we're gonna have to come back with the motor too. But once I cut this off, transmission fluid's gonna come pouring out of here, but that's all I can do. Let's see.
Do you want to pull the black thing forward a little bit? Is it gonna shoot up?
Yeah. You're so smart.
You just make a little hole first. Oh.
Okay. Fuck, we taped it up so good too. Can't believe it's leaking through all that.
How much is gonna come out?
I'm losing quite a bit, but whatever. Okay, so before I pull off the big piece of tape, we're gonna want to try to scoot the motor back.
Yeah.
About 4 inches if we can. So let's go up and do that. There comes all the trans fluid. Okay, reef it back, baby, if you can. We're almost there, baby. We're almost there. We're almost there. Okay, okay, okay. We're gonna get it. Okay. Okay, we're getting it. Okay, push it towards me.
Towards you?
Yep. Slowly. Slowly. Okay, let me get a rag. Whew.
Did you get it in?
We got it in, but I gotta line up the splines. Where the fuck's the shifter? There it is. Alright. Gotta line up the splines, so I gotta get this at park. Let's go right there. Reverse neutral. Park. Reverse. That'll be fine. Somewhere there. Alright. We gotta line up the splines, then we can put it on the slip yoke and we can come back with it. We did it. So, I managed to get the yoke inside of the transmission with Sarah's help. I couldn't have done it without her, that's for damn sure. It's definitely a two-person job. I got the yoke slipped inside. I'm able to spin the rear tires and it feels like it's spinning the transmission. So I just threw it into park. So I'm gonna go underneath there, spin the the back wheels. And if I can't spin them, that means that we're hooked up to the trans. All right, hopefully it doesn't spin. We are in park. We're engaged. Nice. Yeah! 440 big block inside the 1970 Plymouth Duster. Oh yeah! All right, that's a wrap. Well, guys and girls, the motor is in the car. The Plymouth Duster 1970 now has a Motorhome 440 big block out of a 1978 Dodge Sportsman RV, and it is freshly mounted. Well, not mounted yet because I got to make motor mounts and a tranny mount, but it's in the location where it needs to be. Check this out. So it was really sketchy getting the motor into the car. What I'm gonna do next time is remove the drive shaft so I can drop the motor and trans in and then hook up the yoke, because trying to line up the splines and losing all that trans fluid was just a mess and a pain in the ass. So when I pull the motor out again so I can fully weld up my engine mount brackets, that's what we'll do when we reinstall it. It is in the car, and this used to have an engine plate right here. So I know that it's where it needs to be because it has an engine plate on the front and on the back side of the block that mates up to the transmission. And putting a straight edge off of where the plate would go, it bolts up right behind the water pump housing here. And so it's where it needs to be. Fits pretty good. I got about probably 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch of clearance between the transmission and the firewall. This drag car originally had a 440 big block in it, and they did some work to the tunnel there, probably to accommodate maybe the big block transmission possibly. And yeah, so we got lots of room on our transmission. And then looking underneath the car, I don't know, it's too dark right now. Let me grab a light. But look at that. Yes, 440 big block in our 1970 Plymouth Duster. All right, so with the light here, let's crawl underneath the car. All right, so I got the transmission all kind of jacked up there. There's a new tranny mount that we installed. So you can see I gotta make a transmission bracket that holds to that mount. And we got our slip yoke all the way installed. There's a good 5 inches or so of splines lined up inside the transmission. And yeah, we're fully engaged there, which is great. We're center in our diff saver, whatever you want to call it. And we are looking good all underneath here. So a bunch of tubing. I haven't even showed you guys the underside of this car yet, but there's been a lot of work in suspension, Ford 9-inch rear end, etc, etc. So yeah, that's wicked. Job well done underneath here. Messy though. Looks like a crime scene. So I have stuff everywhere. Jacks and parts, you name it. So I have to clean up here, get ready for the next thing, which will be fabricating engine mounts and transmission mounts. And then the motor will be solidly fixed in place. Another issue is my fender well headers. I think I had to put them in before the motor goes in, but I'll see if I can squeeze them up through here and hook up the headers. I am doubtful, but hopefully I can do that. So yeah, so I think that's gonna conclude today's episode. I can't even talk right now, I'm so tired. The 440 big block is in the 1970 Plymouth Duster. Thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you feel like it. We'll catch you guys later. Ciao, ciao.